Hatepu, Assalamu Alaikum, Harunefer, Namaste. This is Kasank Kaparu with another video for you. And today I want to talk to you about Nicki Minaj's absurd comments. But first, I want you to hit the like button if you like my videos and subscribe to my channel if this is the first time you are watching. And share the video with family and friends. We need to get this message out there and get the revolution started. So I'm taking a walk today. I have to go pick up some more magical herbs. Full moon is coming and I need to do a ritual. But let's talk about Nicki Minaj's comments. Now, I don't have her exact comments in front of me, so I'm going to paraphrase. And I hope I get them correct. But essentially, she was talking about this, that she did not realize that there were so many young girls working in the sex industry and that she thinks they could do better. Basically, that they have a mind and they're intelligent and they can do anything they want. So I guess some sex workers were offended by her comments. You can't please everyone. But then she went on to say some things to the effect of how she's, I guess, a very independent woman. She's very sexual. And she, thinks for herself. And she's always been that way. So let me just say this, and here are my comments on the whole thing. This is a statement that's put out by her record company's PR department. And it's kind of like plausible deniability. So they're realizing that her actions and her image can affect young girls and how they see themselves, their self-esteem, and what they do. What you need to understand is that the film industry, and especially the music industry, is very satanic in nature, and they are involved in social engineering or programming, specifically programming young girls and young boys. So what the film industry does is it pulls from this archetype or this playbook of a certain type of pop star. And they regurgitate this image over and over again in order to sell records, to sell concert tickets. And the way you can see this very clearly is that there's no difference between a Madonna, a Lady Gaga, a Nicki Minaj, a Miley Cyrus, and now a Cardi B. They're all the same, meaning they come out there and the first thing they are is overtly sexual, talking about being a strong woman, a kind of feminist, independent, being their own person, flirtatious, being just as strong as a man. This is all scripted. This is taken from a type of archetype or a playbook of the same personality type. And they use this because they know that it is the perfect role model for young girls to aspire to be like. And if they can get young girls to be this way, then the young boys will chase after the young girls. And consequently, they can increase their sales if these young boys are looking at the image of a Nicki Minaj or Miley Cyrus, who's half naked, again, overtly sexual, bordering on pornography. So don't fall for this type of social engineering, this marketing, because it's all smoke and mirrors. It's all something that the music industry puts out, the film industry puts out. The film industry is no different, all right? And many of these pop stars have to go through an initiation process. So what do I mean specifically by that? These girls are pre-selected. You know, this whole thing about this story about, they came to New York or they came to LA with no money in their pocket, and then they sold their demo or they met some record producer, and the rest is history. It's all bullshit, okay? That's just a way of making it seem like it's all organic. When really, again, they're pre-selected. They sell their soul in order to make millions. And if you look back, if you do a little bit of research, you'll see that a lot of these young girls in the very beginning were nothing like the way they are now as pop icons. So it's all smoke and mirrors. And another thing that we're going to have to deal and contend with is with the Me Too movement and this whole thing about sexual harassment. You can't have it both ways, or we have to start looking at the other side of the coin. If you are going to say that men have this whole idea of toxic masculinity, or they're, too aggressive, or look at women as just sexual objects, then you have to stop parading these women half naked in front of the media, in front of magazines, and getting involved in this type of sexual behavior where they're teasing boys, talking about their vagina and what they want to do with guys and what they can do with guys, because that right there is inappropriate behavior. Okay, let's get that straight. And just because it's coming from a woman doesn't make it all right. It's the same thing as sexual harassment, So you're expecting guys not to respond, which is in their nature, to respond to that type of thing. Just as in the wild, in nature, you'll see that certain animals, females, basically, signal to the male that they're ready for mating, and the male then responds. So women doing all these crazy acts of parading around with their breasts out, I'm talking about how wet they are, you're going to get males responding to that. That's just natural. So don't then turn around and then vilify all males because they're looking at women in a certain way. That's what they're designed to do when we are looking to mate. But anyway, I don't want to get off the subject, but I want you to understand that Nicki Minaj's comments are just BS and just a way of them having plausible deniability, saying, oh no, we're not responsible for the low self-esteem of women and women getting into the sex industry or women selling their bodies. That's not because of Nicki Minaj. Why would it be when she's had all kinds of butt surgery and things of that nature to enhance her look, to be more sexual in her look? And because if she wants to talk about how she's strong-headed, smart, intellectual, that's not really communicating in her music, lyrics, or anything. And just to let you know about the music industry and their lyrics, there always been sexual innuendos in the lyrics. Just go back and, I'm talking about all the way back in the 60s, the Beatles. Even look at like Michael Jackson's Beat It. That's really about masturbation, okay? I'm gonna cross the street here. That's about masturbation, And then you have Yummy, 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 I got love in my tummy, remember that? That's about having semen in your stomach. So the music industry puts out these subliminal and sexual lyrics because they know that Western society is sexually repressed. And when you keep that repressive ideas inside of you in the subconscious mind, that makes up the shadow self. And the marketing industry knows that it can tap into that shadow self to sell you things and to market things to you because there is that craving for sex. And they know, it's the old adage, sex sells. And if they tap into that darker side of us, then they know that we'll respond to that. If you look at the movie industry, look at Star Wars. It seems so harmless, right? But at the end of Star Wars, you have the Death Star battle. So what is that all about? That's about the X-Wings trying to shoot an ion torpedo into this small hole to blow up the Death Star. Blowing up the Death Star is having the orgasm. The torpedoes, the sperm cell going into, being into the, impregnating the vagina. And same thing with 2001: A Space Odyssey. A lot of, what you would call is sex symbolism there. You could take a whole class on this. But the idea is, doggies. So the idea here is you have to understand that they're hacking into your psyche, and they're playing upon that with these pop star icons And just keep in mind, there's no difference between the Miley Cyrus, Nicki Minaj, Lady Gaga, Madonna. They're all the same, taken from all the same playbook. They're dreamt up in a boardroom, in a music industry boardroom, and then they market it to you as these girls who express their feminist ideology, and they're strong and they're independent, and it's all bullshit. So think about that. And as I said, sorry, getting turned around here. And as I said, think about the fact that the music and film industry, you know, they're both doing the same thing. I think the music industry is a little more satanic, but the film industry is right along those same lines, no different. A lot of films have the sex symbolism to get you to come and watch the films. And there's a reason why those films are very, very popular in modern society. But anyway, so if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and also consider being a Patreon supporter. You can be a Patreon supporter for $1 a month, or if you want to just donate, the PayPal link is in the description box. So until my next video, this is Kasant Ma'at Keparu, son of Ma'at, and Amen Ra.